Hi, I'm Scott Forrester, and I am the originator of the Transcendent Running Method. I want to welcome you to the Injured Runners Workshop. This workshop is unique because it helps currently injured runners to improve now. You don't have to wait until you're perfectly well. This addresses the injuries that you're having right now. Wouldn't you like to finally be able to know how to deal with your current injuries? Let's examine 4 myths about running injuries. We'll also talk about what are the misconceptions in each of the myths. We'll talk about what's the common element in each of the myths. We'll get to the solution. And we'll talk about how we implement the solution. Running injury myth number 4. If you're injured, you need to rest and sometimes immobilize the injured part. The obvious truth here is that rest is a requirement of the body and it's part of the healing process. What's left out is that often when we rest an injury, it comes back as soon as we begin to run again. This becomes a cycle of rest and injury, and this can be frustrating and even demoralizing. So there's more to the equation than just rest. Running myth number 3. If you're injured, you need to be stronger. Alright? Here's the truth in this statement. If you're injured, it's obvious that something has broken down. However, isolated exercises and being stronger can never make up for a poor running movement pattern. Running movement patterns are in fact the underlying cause of injuries in the first place. So we see where this myth is lacking. As number 2 states that if you're older, you have previous injuries, or you have other biomechanical issues, you should resign yourself to more frequent injuries. Well, what's true here is that if these things have application to you, then you have some risk factors. But what's not apparent here, or what's not considered here, is that we can improve our knowledge of what we're doing and how to do it, and even learn how to train more appropriately. Running myth number 1. You cannot improve your running while you're injured. And this is an interesting myth because it really has something in common with the other 3 that we've just considered. In fact, this myth will shortly lead us to the common element in all of this. So what is the one factor common to all 4 of the running injury myths? It's learning. Learning. All of those 4 myths that we just looked at ignore the human capacity to learn. We ignore that when we only consider rest, isolated strengthening, even biomechanical factors, age, all other external factors, and even only our present condition. Learning. So we have the solution, but how do we learn our way out of the injury cycle? Well, we use a cutting-edge learning process which helps us access brain plasticity. The process is based on the works of Feldenkrais and others. Key concepts in the process are differentiating and integrating movement. By differentiating, we mean that we make a difference. We compare 2 things. And when we learn the difference, we use what we've learned to to integrate that into a pattern, a new pattern of movement. Here is a list of some common running injuries. It's not inclusive, but you may be familiar with some of these. We know that when we have a problem, we commonly seek medical help, medical attention, medical interventions. And each of the running injuries we looked at previously on the previous slide, they have a surgery associated with it. There are lateral release surgeries, hip, back, knee, and foot surgeries. The cost of doctor's visits and expensive tests such as MRIs equals thousands of dollars. The cost of surgeries is at least equal to tens of thousands of dollars, and much time and lost rehabilitation. There is also a very real risk of an unsuccessful surgery, in which case you are back to square one. The cost of physical therapy for weeks to months equals thousands of dollars and much lost time. The cost of transcendent running programs are not even a fraction of this cost and are worth just as much or more. Here's a word from Bethany. So much time and money wasted on other methods. After practicing my lessons for a couple of weeks, the IT band pain went away and has not returned in nearly 2 years. I didn't think it was possible. Thank you, Scott. You work miracles. And thank you, Bethany. What can you expect to learn from this workshop? Two very important things. The very first thing to do when you're injured, and that's the STOP acronym, and the 4 foundational principles for injured runners and how to implement them. The STOP acronym, by the way, stands for stop and accept your situation, your current condition, then observe and learn, and P, proceed in a different direction. The 4 foundational principles will help you implement the STOP acronym. So we have the STOP acronym and then how to implement that. Most of the learning that you will do is multimodal. We will actually do some discussions of things, of principles, but much of the learning you will do is experiential. You will actually learn to feel and differentiate a new movement pattern so that you can progress. So you can sign up for the Transcendent Running Workshop at transcendentrunning.webs.com. The workshop will be conducted in beautiful Bend, Oregon. It is a full-day workshop. It's going to run 93. And the program is a one-day workshop, but it's followed by and included in the cost 3 private lessons that you schedule later to help you with your specific running injury needs. So, the Transcendent Running Program for injured runners is worth thousands of dollars of other professional help. Why not make a commitment to learn something that will have value for years to come and possibly prevent an unnecessary surgery and make your goals more attainable? The program does not cost tens of thousands of dollars. It doesn't cost thousands of dollars. It does not even cost $1,000. You can have the one-day workshop and 3 private lessons for only $340. The workshop itself is worth that much. You can also have the option of making 2 payments. Make the first payment of $170 when you register, and the second on the day of the workshop. Private lessons usually run $90 an hour, so you are saving an additional $30 an hour. $30. So here are some things that Transcendent Running offers for free. There's our blog spot. You can get our blog articles there. you can get additional runner testimonials and sign up for the workshop and get other information at transcendentrunning.webs.com. You can check out our Facebook page. We have a lot of very interesting information there. And you can check us out on YouTube also. So thank you very much for listening to this. If you are an injured runner and you've tried everything else, this workshop is definitely going to give you a fresh perspective. It's definitely going to give you new tools. It's definitely going to be something that you're going to want to check out and attend. So again, thank you for listening to this presentation, and we'll be in touch later.